far, even though the charges don't have anything directly to do with the disappearance in that sense. However, it has everything to do with the circumstances in which Jack and Lily, the kids who are now missing, lived in. A key contributor. And Danny, why have you not come out with a statement yet? I'm very disappointed. Come on. Don't give up on us now, Danny. He's really hanging on to whatever, right? He doesn't really have a solid foundation in why he feels that he's innocent. He feels that he's innocent and he puts it up to the RCMP. A person who's innocent in that situation, it should be rather obvious to you. I don't need anybody telling me I'm innocent. I'm telling you I'm innocent. But he's telling you that the RCMP checked a little box. Now he knows he's innocent. Sorry for laughing like that. It's just so ridiculous, man. Come on. Oh, I've known I'm innocent since this thing began. I've known I was innocent. Man, oh man. Like, you couldn't get any more obvious, dude. It's going to be entertaining in the sense that how this hammer drops on Janie and Daniel, because she'll be going down too because of this nonsense alibi. Remember, there's a whole a narrative that needs to be built, and we should do more focusing on that eventually in the future over what really happened, okay? So in order to proceed with that, you need a lot more information. I mean, us. Not necessarily the RCMP, I mean us out here right now. And that information is coming, and it's going to be coming, or there's going to be even more information in the months to come because of this secondary case. YouTube is doing weird shite. People said my wrench was gone, Robin, and I had a shield on a different channel. Ah, that's what it is. Okay, yeah, that's what it is. You know what I mean? Good point, Robin. There's no more wrench. It's just a blue circle now. The Bear Paws, why did they wait till now to publish that January interview with Danny? Well, because with the new developments, things are changing perhaps in a lot more a quicker of a fashion. You know, when they did those interviews, they didn't. The CBC wasn't aware of the charges that were coming in that sense. And they know that this is a key piece in that, right? Like, this is a person who's actively and eager denying any wrongdoing in that sense, or mistreating Malaya. To have that on camera, it just fits with the charges. Why till now? I don't think that there's any special reason, whether it was that particular hour or 2 hours later. They release it when they get it. But if you're insinuating that they work hand in hand with the RCMP, that'd be correct. Maybe there's something to it. Don't know. But for interest's sakes, couldn't ask for anything more. Maybe a guilty charge. Yeah, they put the sign. What, Miss K? Yeah, they put @ sign in front of the names. Yeah, that as well. And it's the channel name rather than the account name. The Bear Paw. You're saying he looked guilty, stressed in that January interview? Well, yeah, I agree. I agree with that. More so than usual, absolutely. That came across, didn't it? Old Danny wasn't thinking straight. He just plopped his jacket on the back like like he was walking into the kitchen table. Oh, no curtsy, no bow, no shaking of hands. You know, I was noticing even over on CTV, I was going through some of the stuff that I hadn't watched, the little updates from all the different networks. And they have Danny at every angle, and they always put him in this situation where he's like it's an intro to a television show, and he's walking down the road, or he's walking through the bush, and he's posing for the camera. You notice that? Like, what? Like, all of this extra stuff for the camera that isn't necessary. He's really taking it to the next level. And it's not just like one network. It's not CBC. Like he like the CBC did it as he walks into the community church. Like he's just walking a little segue into the interview, and it says, "Oh, Daniel's just been charged with 3 counts, one including sex assault, forcible confinement." He hasn't responded. Those 2 statements in that 14-minute interview really set up everything that Daniel's going to say. Oh, you're like, oh, fuck. This guy is in here, so it's an opportunity to see him in a way that signals to you that even the producers know he's lying. He's always full of shit. He never answers anything correctly. Do you expect anything to change? Not really. But the interesting thing in this circumstance is that he wanted to steer clear of talking anything about Malaya Brooks Murray. Oh, no, I think it's best we don't talk. Let's just dive into the questions. I can't wait to update you, girl. Oh, what a pretentious co-host. He was like he's a color commentator. He was excited to bring you this news. Like, what a pretentious scenario. He's really emphasizing the fact that he's updating everybody on the case. What more could you ask? And he gets lost in this fictitious self-appointed role of his. And the interviewer asks some open-ended questions that are just normal. However, they're probing into getting him talking. I appreciated this last segment, but he wanted to steer clear of anything to do with Malaya and any of the unredacted statements that were in the very first paperwork way back in the summer when they were released. Doesn't want to talk about all of that now. Why? What's up with you? Where'd you used to have a wrench, Miss K? And you used to have a Purple Heart? Where? Where the hell are you talking? Yeah, Kelly, dude is hilarious, delusional. No, it's different than just delusion. Listen, he knows he's guilty AF. It's an opportunity to not panic. When you see somebody, in this circumstance lying, it sticks with you. But at this juncture, it's almost comedic, predictable. Of course, you didn't have anything to do with this, Danny. When they did the January interview, says the Bear Paws, I think Daniel was worried and knew these charges were coming for him. I think that he knew something was up. Yeah, I can agree with that, the Bear Paws. I'm with you. I wondered that too when I was watching along with, because of just how he hesitated off any sort of questions and talked about the drawing of the blood for the DNA test. Like, you could consider that extraneous information, but two, he was misleading you over the reason he was in there getting his blood drawn in the first place. It's hard to tell either. There's so many cases against this son of a bitch. Does it really matter? It's same guy, same DNA. Hi, Shenanigans. Good to see you. Yeah. Oh, go, guys. This isn't a criminal case yet. That's so they can do whatever they want. That's so they can investigate how they want. That's an advantage in this situation for the investigators. Why they keep emphasizing that means something, meaning maybe they do that on purpose to have a reason to explain it to us yet again. Do you think? I mean, it's easy. Thank you, Mr. Hemi. Maybe Durwood. Go to High Grade and buy yourself a vape. All right. Thank you, man. Thanks, Mr. Hemi. What are you saying? Annette says you see a gatekeeping. You're protecting. You're speaking for her. And you're speaking in ways that are just absolutely juvenile. And by the way, you look like a spitting image of Daddy Longneck, the internet sensation. Your neck is like way too long for your head, girl. Maybe you'll grow into it. I'm not even getting catty about that. It's not that you're ugly. There's somebody for everybody, and you're not that unpleasant to look at. However, the only thing that I can see is your long ass neck. It's ridiculous. It's like a straw. It's like a big old straw. But it's okay. She can be pretty. You can be pretty and have a long neck. But you look like Daddy Longneck, that dude on Instagram. That dude's got a long neck. Esther, thank you very much, darling. Yeah, and it's not all Cheryl's fault. Like, Cheryl put herself out there, so she's gonna fucking take the criticism. You know? Yeah, camera angle could be unfortunate. I won't even hold it against her. God knows what you know how it's just a shitty situation to be in. But I can't not say anything. Like, the lies bother me more so than anything. And when you're at this juncture, like, there's a way to do this right, and there's a way to do this wrong, Cheryl. And at this juncture, the things that you're saying, you probably shouldn't even be putting yourself in that position. If she's not comfortable speaking for herself, you don't need to speak for her. There's nothing wrong with somebody taking statements, but there's a major problem with you wanting to take the torch from her and somehow carry her pain and help her through this. If you're going to do that, you need to encourage her to do the right thing. And you're not willing to identify or acknowledge or converse with her on the lies, or else you'd be out. You'd be out of the circle. That's the problem. Malaya knows everything. She knows enough to put the perpetrators to this behind bars for a long time. Is she one of them? It would certainly seem to be that she's prioritizing her own safety. Safety, I mean, like, freedom, excuse me. Oh, Kelly, you know. I was watching Mike today. As soon as he seen Cheryl, he skipped past her. He can't stand her. Oh, he gets all worked up. I love Mike that way. Yeah, but it's not nothing personal. It's just in the moment. Sometimes you don't need to hear these things, especially when it has nothing to do directly with Jack and Lily. And all of the topics in the conversation, well, not all of it, the majority of it is just garbage that comes through from mainstream media and corporate media in that sense. You know that. Don't want to talk all about how it's affecting everybody around there in that sense. Just looking for content. That's brutal. Malaya needs... What's that, Vivalda? Good to see you, darling. Malaya needs to put her big girl panties on and speak out for her children and stop being a coward. She needs to go and tell the police what happened. Why? Just straight up tell him you fucking lied. You lied. Malaya, just tell him Daniel made you say it. You can get out of that one. Don't wait for the police to ask you the right questions and all of this. It's not going to turn out well. You need to come forward and let them know everything, Malaya. The police. You let the police know everything, people would understand your silence that much more, but you're not fooling anybody at this point in time. There's no reason for people to be going out and putting up missing posters as though that they're going to be recognizable some way because there's that 1% chance in all of this. You're misleading the public still to this very hour. Well, Marley Sanker, you're right. Talk about how Jack and Lily were affected. That's what we try to do. That's what they should be speaking about. I agree with you. So there's key differences between Mike's and Ninchi's opinion of you, Cheryl. Primary focus on Cheryl from Mike to Man was behavioral deception analysis. His Facebook images show baseline deviations. Example, Cheryl was licking like Chris Watts and Daniel, which is creepy, he says. That's creepy demeanor, not normal. For example, that's not the regular you, Cheryl, implying duping delight subtly, which is smug lying. For Ninchi's, she had more of a logical statement critique, questions her sincerity of defending Malaya's silence or shyness, doubts emotional attachment to the kids' items, as she hadn't seen them for 2 years, and accuses Cheryl of enabling Malaya over seeking answers. Yeah, there's this big write-up over this fucking blanket that she's trying to associate her having an attachment to this now as though it means something. Like, fucking please. She doesn't even know what it is that she's saying. The deception indicators, Mike points out the visual cues, like the facial language, the motion picture-like changes. Explicitly says she's lying, but didn't kill Jack or Lily in that sense. So she's lying, but for a lesser degree. She's an enabler. Ninchi pointed out the inconsistencies in claims. Examples, knowing the favorite blanket without prior exposure, implied lying to protect Malaya, either confided or avoiding confrontation, not really focused on body language. Comparing the emotional tone towards Cheryl, from Mike, it was emotional and accusatory. She creeps me out, he says, man. Mike says, she creeps me out, man. Taunting, we see you, Cheryl. She's painful to watch. Okay. So Ninchi says, well, she approached it, the emotional tone towards Cheryl. She was a little bit more cynical and logical with, she used the term misplaced loyalty when it came to Cheryl. Sticking her head in the sand. Selfish for holding items like stockings. It's less personal, more about priorities that she was pointing out. So, the connection to the kids. From Mike, it was minimal, focuses on Cheryl's images, demeanor, in context to the case discussions. From Ninchi was more detailed, handling the belongings, claiming hope for return. Ninchi debunks this as insincere due to distance, like the 2 years no contact. Notes videos from Cheryl via Malaya. Now, the role in the case, from Mike's perspective, peripheral, analyzed for baseline and public images, part of a broader deception scan, example with Malaya and Janie. Ninchi aligns Cheryl to be, assigns her role to be more like the central defender of Malaya. She hosts Malaya, describes her struggles, like her weight loss and avoidance, involved in searches in the property visit. Ninchi critiques as not genuine. I have to agree with that. Implications from Mike. Cheryl withholding information. She's lying. Ties it to the overall family deception. I think that's kind of what I did too. From Ninchi, Cheryl is enabling the silence and the guilt. Part of Malaya's inner circle ignoring evidence, absolutely. Contrast with Belinda's active role. Exactly.